Young Elites by Marie Lu. Adelina is a survivor of the blood fever. A decade ago, the deadly illness swept through her nation. Most of the infected perished, while many of the children who survived were left with strange markings. But some of the fever's survivors are rumored to possess more than just scars. They are believed to have mysterious and powerful gifts, and though their identities remain secret, they have come to be called the Young Elites. Taryn works for the king. As leader of the Inquisition, it is his job to destroy the Young Elites before they destroy the nation. Enzo is a member of the Dagger Society. The secret society of Young Elites seeks out others like them before the Inquisition can. But when the Daggers find Adelina, they discover someone with powers like they've never seen. The lives of these three will collide in unexpected ways, as each fights a very different and personal battle. But there is one thing that they are all certain of. Adelina has abilities that shouldn't belong in this world. Read this action-packed fantasy today. Wolf by Ryan Graudin. The year is 1956, and the Axis powers of the Third Reich and Imperial Japan rule the world. To commemorate their great victory, they host the Axis Tour, an annual motorcycle race across their combined continents. The prize? An audience with the highly reclusive Adolf Hitler at the Victor's Ball in Tokyo. Yale, a former death camp prisoner, has witnessed too much suffering, and the 5 wolves tattooed on her arm are a constant reminder of the loved ones she's lost. The resistance has given Yale one goal: win the race and kill Hitler. A survivor of painful human experimentation, Yale has the power to skin shift and must complete her mission by impersonating last year's only female racer, Adele Wolf. But as Yale grows closer to the other competitors, can she be as ruthless as she needs to be to avoid discovery and stay true to her mission? Miles Morales, Spider-Man by Jason Reynolds. Miles Morales is just your average teenager. Dinner every Sunday with his parents, chilling out playing old school video games with his best friend, crushing on brainy, beautiful poet Alicia. Oh yeah, and he's Spider-Man. But lately, Miles' spidey sense has been on the fritz. When a misunderstanding leads to his suspension from school, Miles begins to question his abilities. Maybe kids like Miles aren't meant to be superheroes. Maybe Miles should take his dad's advice and focus on saving himself. Club Magoon. When 16-year-old Tariq Johnson dies from 2 gunshot wounds, his community is thrown into an uproar. Tariq was black. The shooter, Jack Franklin, is white. In the aftermath of Tariq's death, everyone has something to say, but no 2 accounts of the events line up. Day by day, new twists further obscure the truth. Tariq's friends, family, and community struggle to make sense of the tragedy, and to cope with the hole left behind when a life is cut short. Told across multiple perspectives, each character, in their own words, grapples for a way to say with certainty, this is how it went down. Days by Jeff Zentner. Where are you guys? Text me back. That's the last message Carver Briggs will ever send his 3 best friends, Mars, Eli, and Blake. He never thought that it would lead to their death. Now Carver can't stop blaming himself for the accident, and even worse, a powerful judge is pressuring the district attorney to open up a criminal investigation. Soon the other families are asking for their own goodbye day with Carver, but he's unsure of their motives. Will they all be able to make peace with their losses, or will these goodbye days bring Carver one step closer to a complete breakdown, or even worse, prison? Scythe by Neal Shusterman. A world with no hunger, no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all those things, and has even conquered death. Now, scythes are the only ones who can end life, and they are commanded to do so in order to keep the size of the population under control. Teenagers Citra and Rowan are chosen to apprentice to a scythe, a role that neither one wants. These teens must master the art of taking life, knowing that the consequence of failure could mean losing their own. At the Edge of the Universe by Sean David Hutchinson. Tommy and Ozzy have been best friends since the 2nd grade, and boyfriends since 8th. They spent countless days dreaming of escaping their small town, and then Tommy vanished. More accurately, he ceased to exist, erased from the minds and memories of everyone who knew him. Everyone except Ozzy. Ozzy doesn't know how to navigate life without Tommy, and soon he suspects that something else is going on, that the universe is shrinking. When Ozzy is paired up with the reclusive and secretive Calvin for a physics project, it's hard for him to deny the feelings developing between them, even if he still loves Tommy. But Ozzy knows there isn't much time left to find Tommy, that once the door closes, it can't be opened again, and he's determined to keep it open as long as possible. We Were Here by Matt de la Peña. When it happened, Miguel was sent to juvie. The judge gave him a year in a group home, said he had to write in a journal so some counselor could try to figure out how he thinks. The judge had no idea that he actually did Miguel a favor. Ever since it happened, his mom can't even look at him in the face. Any home besides his would be a better place to live. But Miguel didn't bet on meeting Rondell or Mong or on any of what happened after they broke out. He only thought about Mexico and getting to the border to where he could start over. Forget his mom, forget his brother, forget himself. Life usually doesn't work out how you think it will, though, and most of the time, running away is the quickest path right back to what you're running from.
Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. Tourist, traitor, psychopath, spy. Who is Jewel West Williams? A steely-eyed orphan who fought her way into the Ivy League with nothing but grit and determination? A heartbroken teen who just wants to be loved and accepted? Or a master manipulator with no conscience who will stop at nothing to secure her future? American Street by E.B. Zaboy. On the corner of American Street and Joy Road, Fabiola Toussaint thought she would finally find une belle vie, a good life. But after they leave Port-au-Prince, Haiti, Fabiola's mother is detained by U.S. immigration, leaving Fabiola to navigate her loud American cousins, Chantal, Donna, and Princess. The grittiness of Detroit's West Side, a new school, and a surprising romance all on her own. Just as she finds her footing in this strange new world, a dangerous proposition presents itself, and Fabiola soon realizes that freedom comes at a cost. Trapped at the crossroads of an impossible choice, will she pay the price for the American dream? The Alex Crow by Andrew Smith. 15-year-old Ariel is a refugee from the Middle East who is the sole survivor of an attack on his small village. Now living with an adoptive family in Sunday, West Virginia, Ariel's story of his summer at a boys' camp for tech detox is juxtaposed against those of a schizophrenic bomber and the diaries of a failed Arctic expedition from the late 19th century. Oh, and there's also a depressed, bionic, reincarnated crow. Andrew Smith takes us on another fascinating ride through the minds of teenage boys. When Dimple Met Rishi by Sanja Menon. Ambitious Dimple Shah is on her way to a summer program for aspiring web developers. She is not at all interested in finding the ideal Indian husband as her parents want her to. Rishi Patel is also going to the same program, but for totally different reasons. Unbeknownst to Dimple, Rishi and Dimple's parents have potentially set them up as an arranged marriage. Dimple and Rishi's first meeting does not go well. Rishi is left drenched in iced coffee, but will Dimple give him a chance as she gets to know him? The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. 16-year-old Star Carter moves between two worlds, the poor neighborhood where she lives and the fancy suburban prep school she attends. As the sole witness to her friend Khalil's fatal shooting by a police officer, Star is overwhelmed by the pressure of testifying before a grand jury and the responsibility of speaking out in Khalil's memory. Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. Nimona is an impulsive young shapeshifter with a knack for villainy. Lord Ballister Blackheart is a villain with a vendetta. As sidekick and supervillain, Nimona and Lord Blackheart are about to wreak some serious havoc. Their mission? Prove to the kingdom that Sir Ambrosius Goldenloin and his buddies at the Institution of Law Enforcement and Heroics aren't the heroes everyone thinks they are. But as small acts of mischief escalate into a vicious battle, Lord Blackheart realizes that Nimona's powers are as murky and mysterious as her past, and her unpredictable wild side might be more dangerous than he is willing to admit. Saints and Misfits by S.K. Ali. Jan is a sophomore when Farouk, the cousin of her best friend, sexually assaults her. Since Jana's close-knit Muslim community sees Farouk, who has memorized the entire Quran, as the exemplar of piety, Jana keeps quiet in the assumption that no one will believe her. She focuses on her illicit crush on non-Muslim Jeremy, but Farouk even manages to ruin that by lying to Jeremy about his relationship with Jana. When she fails miserably at her part in a regional quiz competition due to Farouk's lurking presence, she realizes she needs to find a way to bring the truth to light. City of Saints and Thieves by Natalie C. Anderson. In the shadows of Sangui City, there lives a girl who doesn't exist. After fleeing the Congo as refugees, Tina and her mother arrived in Kenya looking for the chance to build a new life and home. Her mother quickly found work as a maid for a prominent family headed by Roland Grayhill, one of the city's most respected business leaders. But Tina soon learns that Grayhill fortune was made from a life of corruption and crime. So when her mother is found shot to death in Mr. Grayhill's personal study, she knows exactly who's behind it and starts planning her revenge.